Ladies and gentlemen, pain is something we all know. It visits us when we least expect it, through loss, failure, betrayal, or disappointment. But here's the truth: pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of transformation. Every scar you carry has the potential to become a source of strength. You can either let pain crush you, or you can turn it into power. And the difference lies in one decision: never fold. Turning pain into power means refusing to be defined by what hurts you. It means standing tall when the world expects you to fall. It's about understanding that struggle is not your enemy. It's your ally. The pressure you feel today is shaping the diamond within you. We live in a world that applauds success, but often overlooks the struggle behind it. Greatness is not born in easy times. It's forged in the fire of pain, sleepless nights, and moments of doubt. Yet those who endure discover something remarkable. The very pain that once tried to break them becomes the foundation of their power. To never fold is to declare, I will not surrender. No matter the obstacles, no matter the heartbreak, you keep moving forward. Because power doesn't belong to the ones who had it easy. It belongs to the ones who took their pain and turned it into purpose. Pain is one of the most misunderstood forces in life. Most people run from it, hide from it, or try to numb it, think it's a punishment. But pain was never designed to be a dead end. Pain is a teacher, a messenger, a mirror that reflects who you really are when the comfort is stripped away. When everything is smooth and easy, you don't learn much. But when life hits you with disappointment, betrayal, or failure, that's when the real lessons arrive. Think about it. If you touched fire as a child, the sting of that burn taught you to respect heat. If you fell while learning to ride a bike, the scrape on your knees taught you balance. The same rule applies to every level of life. The sting, the cut, the bruise, it carries the wisdom you can't find in books. The lessons you learn through pain are engraved deeper than any success story. A wise man once said, smooth seas never made skilled sailors. The storms, the setbacks, the heartbreaks, those are the classrooms where strength is built. If you never struggle, you never grow. If you never get hurt, you never learn how to heal. And if you never fail, you never learn how to win. Pain is not just there to break you, it's there to prepare you. Let me tell you a story. There was once a farmer who had an old donkey. One day the donkey fell into a deep well. The farmer tried everything to pull it out, but the animal was too heavy. Finally, he decided to bury it alive to end its suffering. He started shoveling dirt into the well. The donkey panicked at first, then something remarkable happened. Every time dirt fell on its back, it shook it off and stepped up. Shovel after shovel, the donkey kept shaking off the dirt and climbing higher until finally it stepped out of the well. That's pain as a teacher. The very thing meant to bury you can lift you if you learn the lesson. The problem is most people let pain paralyze them instead of empower them. They say, why me? Why did this have to happen? When the real question is, what is this teaching me? Every wound carries wisdom. Every closed door points to a new path. Every heartbreak is a reminder of what you truly deserve. But you only discover that if you lean into the pain instead of running from it. Think about a diamond. It starts as a piece of carbon, ordinary, unremarkable, fragile. But under years of pressure and heat, it transforms into something rare, valuable, unbreakable. That's you. The pain and pressure in your life is not a sign that you're weak. It's proof that you're being refined. And the more intense the process, the greater the shine that comes after. Someone once said, pain will leave you once it's done teaching you. If you still feel it, there's still a lesson in it. Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's discipline. Maybe it's teaching you to let go of what was never meant for you. But if you embrace it, if you sit with it, you'll come out wiser, sharper, stronger. Now let's talk about resilience. Resilience is the bridge that carries you from pain to power. It's the muscle you build every time you refuse to fold. Life will test you over and over again. Some people break under the weight, others bend but snap back. Resilience is the art of standing tall after you've been knocked down. Think about a palm tree in a storm. When the wind howls and the rain beats down, the tree bends almost to the ground, but it doesn't break. And when the storm passes, it rises again, taller, stronger, rooted even deeper. That's resilience. It's not about never falling, it's about refusing to stay down. There's a story about a young boy who wanted to become a great warrior. He went to his master and asked for training. The master told him, every time you fall, get back up. Do this 1,000 times. The boy didn't understand, but he obeyed. He fell, he got up, fell again, got up again, over and over until his body ached. His spirit wanted to quit. After months, he finally asked, why do I have to keep falling? The master replied, the strength is not in avoiding the fall. The strength is in rising faster every time you hit the ground. That's resilience. Life is going to knock you down. You will lose people you love. You will fail at things you thought were certain. You will question your worth, your talent, your purpose. But if you build resilience, nothing can hold you down for long. Resilience doesn't make the pain disappear, but it makes you unbreakable in the face of it. I once read that bamboo is one of the strongest plants in the world. But here's what most people don't know. It takes 5 years for bamboo to even break the surface of the ground. During those years, it looks like nothing is happening. But underground, roots are spreading, digging deep, laying the foundation. When it finally shoots up, it grows almost 90 feet in just a few weeks. That's resilience. You may not see progress right away, but the roots you're building in the dark are preparing you for rapid growth when the time is right. Resilience is also about mindset. When you believe that everything happening is working for you, not against you, you stop folding under pressure. You start seeing failures as feedback, obstacles as opportunities, and delays as preparation. The people who win in the long run aren't the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to give up. Take the story of Thomas Edison. He failed more than 1,000 times trying to create the light bulb. When asked how he felt about failing so often, he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's resilience. Reframing failure as part of the process. The truth is, resilience is built in silence. It's built when nobody is clapping, when nobody is watching, when you keep pushing forward despite the doubt, the fear, and the pain. Every time you refuse to fold, you build endurance. Every time you take another step after falling, you build strength. And eventually that strength becomes unshakable. Pain teaches. Resilience transforms. Together, they create a force inside you that can't be bought, borrowed, or faked. That's why when you see someone who has been through real struggle, there's a certain presence about them. You can feel their energy. They move differently because they know they can't be broken. They've faced storms and survived. They've faced pain and learned. They've faced defeat and risen again. There's an old African proverb, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. Pain and resilience work together to build that inner strength. Once you know how to turn pain into wisdom and resilience into power, nothing external can shake you. So the next time you face pain, don't curse it. Study it. Ask what it's here to teach. And when life tries to bury you under its weight, remember the donkey in the well. Shake it off, step up and rise. And when the storm comes, bend if you must, but never break. Resilience is your anchor. Resilience is your weapon. And resilience is what will carry you from the pain of today into the power of tomorrow. Transformation is one of the most powerful forces in life, but it doesn't come dressed in comfort. Transformation rarely shows up when everything is smooth, when you're surrounded by applause, or when life feels easy. It comes in the middle of wounds, heartbreak, failure, and loss. It comes when you're forced to face who you really are and what you're made of. Every wound is a chance to become wiser, and every setback is a setup for a bigger comeback. Think about a caterpillar. At first glance, it's small, slow, and fragile. Most people would never imagine it could become something greater. But in order to transform, it has to lock itself away in a cocoon, a dark and lonely space. Inside, it breaks down, it struggles, it fights, it almost looks like it won't survive. But when the time is right, it emerges as a butterfly, something completely different from what it once was. That's the same with us. We go through seasons where life feels like a cocoon, dark, painful, lonely, but it's in that process that transformation is happening. There's a saying, don't waste your wounds. Every scar, every setback, every betrayal, it can either hold you back or become the fuel that drives you forward. The choice is yours. People who transform don't deny their pain, they use it. They say, this loss will not make me bitter, it will make me better. This failure will not make me stop, it will make me sharper. This heartbreak will not end me, it will teach me how to love myself first. Let me tell you a story about a young athlete. He was talented, but during his college years, he tore his knee and doctors told him he'd never play at the same level again. For months, he battled depression. He thought his dream was over. But instead of folding, he shifted his focus. He studied the game deeper, trained his mind, sharpened his strategy. He couldn't run like before, but his vision and discipline turned him into a leader on and off the field. He went on to coach, and eventually, he built a career far beyond what playing alone could have given him. His wound became wisdom. His setback became a setup for a whole new path. That's what transformation looks like. You may lose one dream, but in that loss, a greater vision might be waiting. You may fail at one attempt, but in that failure, you gain the knowledge that sets you up to win bigger next time. Nothing is wasted if you're willing to learn. Someone once said, rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. That's the essence of transformation. Sometimes you have to hit the floor to realize the strength you never knew you had. Sometimes you have to be stripped of what you thought you needed to uncover what you were truly meant to build. But transformation demands honesty. You can't become who you're meant to be if you keep holding on to who you used to be. You can't create wisdom out of wounds if you keep reopening them instead of healing them. You have to face the pain, embrace the lessons, and let the old version of yourself die so the new one can live. Now, endurance, that's the key that carries transformation into legacy. Endurance is not about speed, it's about stamina. It's not about how fast you rise, but how long you last. Anybody can shine for a season, but endurance is what separates temporary success from lasting impact. There's a story about a man who ran marathons. In one race, he injured his leg halfway through. Blood dripping, every step hurting. People begged him to quit. Hours after the winners had crossed the line, when the stadium was almost empty, He limped his way to the finish. Reporters asked him why he didn't stop. He replied, "My country didn't send me 5,000 miles to start the race. They sent me 5,000 miles to finish it." That's endurance. It's finishing what you started, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much it hurts. Legacy is not built on moments of comfort. It's built in the times you refuse to quit when quitting would have been easy. It's built when you push through the fatigue, the rejection, the delays, the doubts. People remember endurance. They remember the one who didn't fold, who didn't walk away, who kept going when the odds were stacked against him. Take the story of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison. 27 years locked away, cut off from the world, stripped of freedom. Most would have given up. Most would have let bitterness take over. But he endured. He came out not with hate, but with wisdom, forgiveness, and vision. That endurance didn't just change his life. It changed a nation. That's the power of not giving up, no matter how long the road. Endurance teaches you something no quick win can. It teaches patience. It teaches faith. It teaches the art of pacing yourself for the long game. When you endure, you stop chasing quick results and start building foundations that last beyond your lifetime. You start thinking in decades, not days. You start creating something that your children's children will benefit from. That's legacy. People often look at success as a sprint, but it's really a marathon. The ones who last are the ones who train their mind to handle the grind, who condition their spirit to keep showing up even when it's painful. Endurance is not glamorous. It's lonely mornings, it's silent battles, it's delayed gratification. But that's what builds unshakable power. I once heard a story about a stone cutter. Every day he would strike a giant rock with his hammer. 10 blows, nothing. 50 blows, nothing. 100 blows, still nothing. People laughed, said he was wasting his time. But on the 100th and first strike, the rock split in two. It wasn't the last blow that did it. It was all the blows before it. That's endurance. It's the willingness to keep going when you see no results, trusting that one more step, one more strike, one more effort will break the barrier. So when you're in the middle of pain, remember, transformation is happening. Your wounds are teaching you wisdom. Your setbacks are setting you up for something greater. And when the road feels too long, remember endurance. Remember that it's not about how fast you get there. It's about how long you can keep going. Every scar you carry can become a story that inspires. Every time you choose to endure, you're writing a piece of your legacy. Legacy isn't about how much money you made, how many trophies you won, or how many people clap for you in the moment. Legacy is about what you leave behind that continues to live after you're gone. It's about the lives you touch, the lessons you pass down, the example you set of resilience and endurance. There's a quote that says, "A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in." That's endurance creating legacy. It's doing the work, running the race, building the foundation, even if you don't see the full results in your lifetime. Transformation and endurance go hand in hand. Transformation turns wounds into wisdom, and endurance ensures that wisdom doesn't fade but multiplies. Transformation takes your setbacks and makes them setups, and endurance carries those setups into something that outlives you. Together, they create a life that can't be erased, a life that leaves a mark, a life that proves pain can be turned into power, and power can be turned into legacy. Vision is everything. Without vision, pain feels random and endurance feels endless. Vision is what gives meaning to the struggle. It's the compass in the storm, the map in the desert, the light in the tunnel. When you know where you're headed, the pain you face stops looking like punishment and starts looking like preparation. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me." Vision gives you reason to keep walking when your legs are tired and your heart feels heavy. There's an old saying, where there is no vision, the people perish. That's not just about nations or leaders, that's about you. Without vision, you get stuck repeating the same cycles, chasing the same distractions, settling for the same patterns that hold you back. But when you lock in on a vision, everything changes. Suddenly, late nights don't feel like sacrifices. They feel like investments. Rejection doesn't feel like defeat. It feels like redirection. Obstacles don't feel like walls. They feel like weights that are making you stronger. I remember a story of a young man who grew up in chaos. He saw violence, poverty, and struggle every day. People around him gave in, thinking that was all life had to offer. But he had a vision. He would walk past the corner store and tell his friends, "One day I'm going to own something bigger than this block." They laughed, called him crazy, but he kept his eyes on that picture in his mind. He studied, worked odd jobs, saved every dollar. Years later, he built businesses, bought property, created opportunities for people who once doubted him. The difference wasn't that life treated him better. It was that vision kept him moving when others stopped. Vision is what allows you to endure the pain of discipline instead of the pain of regret. Discipline hurts in the moment, waking up early, sacrificing comfort, saying no to shortcuts, but regret hurts for a lifetime. Vision helps you choose which pain you'll live with. With vision, even the darkest season becomes a classroom. Every struggle becomes a chapter in your story. Every setback becomes proof that you're still in the game. A quote I've always carried says, Eyes on the prize, not eyes on the distractions, not eyes on the noise, not eyes on who's doubting you. Eyes on the vision. The ones who lose their way are usually the ones who lost their sight, not their physical sight, but their ability to see beyond the present. Vision lets you see the finish line before the race even starts. Vision lets you see yourself heal while you're still broken, successful while you're still struggling, powerful while you're still in pain. That kind of sight is what separates dreamers from doers. Now, let's talk about legacy. Legacy is responsibility. It's not just about living for yourself. It's about living in a way that leaves something behind for those who come after you. Legacy is the bridge between your struggle and the next generation's opportunity. It's the understanding that the seeds you plant today might grow into trees you'll never sit under, but somebody else will. There's a proverb that says, a society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. That's legacy. It's thinking beyond your own lifetime. It's knowing that your life is bigger than just your comfort, your success, your name. What are you building that will still speak when you're no longer here to explain it? I once heard a story about a mason who worked on a cathedral for years. One day, a traveler asked him, "Why do you work so hard on this building? You'll never see it finished." The mason replied, "I'm not building for myself, I'm building for generations who will worship here long after I'm gone." That's legacy. It's work that outlives you. Legacy isn't always about grand monuments or global recognition. Sometimes it's about the character you leave in your children, the principles you teach your community, the inspiration you pass to a stranger who watched how you carried yourself. People may forget your words, but they will never forget your example. The way you endured struggle, the way you turned pain into power, that becomes a blueprint for others. Endurance and legacy are tied together. You can't build legacy if you quit halfway. You can't leave something lasting if you're always folding under pressure. Legacy demands consistency, and consistency demands vision. That's why you can't separate them. Vision gives direction. Endurance keeps you moving. Transformation sharpens you. And legacy becomes the outcome of it all. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't live long enough to see all the fruit of his vision. But his endurance, his resilience, his vision, they created a legacy that shifted the course of history. His words still echo decades later. That's responsibility. That's the kind of weight you carry when you understand legacy. And don't think legacy is only for the famous or the wealthy. Every person builds a legacy, whether they know it or not. The way you treat people, the way you chase your vision, the way you endure struggle, all of it becomes your signature. You might not realize it, but somebody is watching you, learning from you, being influenced by you. Your siblings, your children, your friends, even strangers, they are reading the story of your life like a book, and your actions are writing the pages. So the real question is not if you'll leave a legacy, it's what kind of legacy you'll leave. Will it be a story of giving up when it got hard, or a story of pushing through when the odds were stacked against you? Will it be a story of settling for less, or a story of building something greater than yourself? Will people say you live for comfort or that you live for purpose? Legacy asks you to think long term. Quick wins don't impress legacy. Legacy cares about roots, not just branches. Anybody can shine for a season, but only those who build with patience, vision, and endurance leave something that lasts for generations. There's a tale of two builders. One built his house on sand, quick, easy, flashy. It looked good, but when the storm came, it collapsed. The other built on rock, slow, steady, difficult. But when the storm came, his house stood firm. Legacy is built on rock. Legacy doesn't crumble with the first sign of struggle. It weathers storms, it outlasts critics, it endures because it was built with intention. Vision and legacy go hand in hand. Vision gives you direction in the present. Legacy gives your vision meaning in the future. Vision is about what you see for yourself. Legacy is about what others will see because of you. Vision helps you survive the pain. Legacy ensures the pain was never wasted. When you look at the great ones throughout history, the common thread is not that they avoided pain. It's that they turned it into fuel. It's not that they lived easy lives. It's that they endured and kept their eyes on a vision greater than themselves. And because they did, they left behind legacies that continue to inspire long after they're gone. That's the challenge for each of us, to see beyond today, to endure beyond the moment, to transform wounds into wisdom, setbacks into setups, struggles into stories, and life into legacy. So, the next time pain knocks at your door, don't run from it. Welcome it, learn from it, and let it fuel you. Remember this, you are not weak because you hurt. You are strong because you rise. Pain is temporary, but the power you build from it is eternal. Stand tall, never fold, and let your life be the proof that pain can be transformed into unstoppable power.